This is Jed MacKay, and you're listening to Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast.
Yes, welcome back, loony listeners. You are listening to Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast. This is episode 358, and of course, you're back with your High Priest of Khonshu, Rebecca. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good. I'm pumped. This is the new year, 2025.
Yeah, 2025, a square year.
The square
The
year.
square of two numbers.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, far out.
Apparently, the last time was 1936. That may not bode well.
Oh my
for
gosh.
2025, but let's hope.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, exactly. I like to think that we're coming in fresh, Rebecca. First,
Yeah. We're revitalized,
revitalized,
and cats to
coffee.
hand. We're both
We
quite, bright and breezy for us.
Bright and breezy, and I think I mentioned last time. Resolution, at least the show's resolution, was to try and get some sort of normality back into things. So Rebecca and I have little plans to kind of get some episodes to you in regular fashion. But this is the first one of this year, and we're doing something pretty cool. It happens to coincide with a new comic book release. So Rebecca and I will be doing a Moonshine. Rebecca, I haven't been doing the phases. I've got to check out the phases, actually.
The phases have gone since Marvel stole the phrase. The phases have gone out.
Oh, that's true. Actually, I like that. Yeah, let's keep on that, because I don't know how that works with our plan anyway. But
we'll have to set a new trend. I don't know. I don't even know where is the moon in the world at the moment. I don't think it's a new moon. That's all I know. I don't think so. I don't know.
I've got an idea just off the top of my head, which is never good.
Always good.
Rebecca, how about when? I'm sure there's going to be something this year. When there's some sort of weird moon thing this year, whether it's I don't know, like a super moon or a blood moon or whatever, we should do something, I guess, different. Oh, hello. For those that are watching the video, hello.
I don't often have the window, like the blinds up. Yeah, he's coming for a cuddle.
Sorry. For podcast listeners, the third High Priest of Khonshu just made their way into the screen. Yes. Hello, Aussie.
Where are you going?
But we should do something different, like celebrate some weird moon thing. Like I don't know if there's an eclipse or
Well, we have an eclipse in 26 and 27, but let's have a look. Oh, the Pleiades and the moon cross on January the 9th.
How do you know this so quickly?
I looked it up. I looked up lunar events in 2025. There's a total lunar eclipse in March, but I will be on holiday.
This
is seamless. To do something without me.
Listeners, this is why Rebecca is on board. This is literally spontaneous, but Rebecca has come up with the goods straight away. I'm impressed.
There are super moons, October, November, December.
Okay, so we're going to do something on the super moons, definitely.
Yeah, so January the 9th, unfortunately, is kind of between two podcasts, but that's the Pleiades and the moon crossing. And then you have a total lunar eclipse in the US and globally when I'm in Japan. So you will have to grab someone.
We'll have to
everyone bombard Ray if you want to be on the total lunar eclipse episode. That'll be it. I mean, the lunar eclipse is me not being there.
Maybe, Rebecca, we get Belinda Carlisle.
Maybe. Why? Why
get it. Total Eclipse of the Heart. The song.
Wasn't that Bonnie someone else?
Oh, was it?
Was
it? Oh, okay. Sorry, got it wrong. Oh, yeah, she did the what did she do? Bonnie Tyler. Sorry, Belinda Carlisle. Didn't she the Earth move under my feet? I think. I don't know. I don't know. She did something. She did something in the 80s. And hang on, I heard she's a Moon Knight fan. Get her on. Let's get her on.
Get her on. Yeah. Who isn't a Moon Knight fan these days?
Sorry, musician aficionados yet, Rebecca. Bonnie Tyler, let's get her on for Total Eclipse. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Done. Any
I'll leave that with you.
Leave that, yeah. Rebecca will be enjoying her trip over in Japan, whilst I, try to get Bonnie Tyler in. Oh, Speaking of, I don't know,
Cat
tails, cat butts. As I was trying to allude to before I sidetracked myself, Midnight Fist of Khonshu issue 3. That's what Rebecca and I will be looking at for this Moonshine, this new comic book review. So looking forward to it, Rebecca. I mean,
first one I've read on time in a long time.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Can I just say as well? Because I'm still literally, I think I'm 99 comics behind with my stuff. But I did, because I went to King's, the local comic book store, and I picked up my floppies. So yes, I did for a long time now. I haven't been for a while. I've read Fist of Khonshu like in hard copy.
Mine arrived in the mail yesterday. Very convenient, yeah.
So, incidentally, have you been reading anything else like lately? I might as well ask because I'm kind of proud of
Iron Man. The new Spencer Ackerman Iron Man. Iron Man with a giant sword, being pro-union and anti-pipeline, and it's really good.
Who's the artist in that?
Who is the artist? I'm not 100% sure. It's someone who I hadn't heard of.
Okay.
But I wasn't sure I was gonna like his art. Julius Ota, OHTA. And I wasn't, because it's quite it's an art style that sometimes doesn't gel with me. But I really like it. I mean, it's a bit like I was a little bit worried when we first started with Capuccio and we weren't sure how we felt. It's kind of how I felt, and I kind of like feel easier with it with each issue. Although I think, Capuccio was a much faster jump to liking.
Yes.
There's something a bit 90s about Ota, but it's quite a nice, like, brutal Iron Man thing. He's just made the giant sword, and it's awesome. And then I'm reading Ultimates as well, which is very good. But I'm not reading a lot at the moment. How about you?
Yeah, if you just bear with me. So when you say 90s, are we talking? Is it Dan Panosian? Are we looking at is it like Panosian style art, or is it Liefeld art?
It's just but it's got a little edge of that kind of grittiness to it.
Okay.
Like I don't think it's like either. It's not really 90s. It's just not really the stuff I normally warm to. But no, I like it.
Okay. Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. So I just grabbed my floppies here because I had them handy. I read, this is the variant to West Coast Avengers. So
I want to buy that as a trade.
Yeah, it's Jerry Duggan, and I wanted to get these because you did the artist justice. So I want to do Danny Kim was the artist for this West Coast Avengers.
Very nice, yeah.
It's pretty fun. I mean, I think
I've heard it. I've seen some clips of it that made me go, "Oh, I want to buy it." And then I'm like, no, I'm just gonna get the trade.
No, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely wait for trade or Marvel Unlimited and just read through it.
Right,
it's a fun read. Tony Stark, obviously, the premise Tony Stark, and so sorry, I'm jumping all over the place, but issue 2 is out as well. So got issue 2. So I've been up to date with that, but I'm still way behind with everything else. So the premise is Tony Stark and Rhodey are trying to reform villains.
It happened at the end of the last Iron Man arc.
Okay.
That's when they kind of said, let's go do this. Like, there's a few other people we could help. So I really want to see the and I love stuff with Hank. So it kind of ties in with what we're reading in Moon Knight. So
it does.
It
does. You're right. Yeah. And of course, I just want to show it off because it is here, and it's been so long since I actually read a floppy. So this is what we are covering tonight for those that are watching the video. So we'll be covering Fist of Khonshu, which also features a new artist, Rebecca, the new regular, Domenico Carbone.
It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. So shall we dive into it? I mean, like before I don't know. I haven't come across any news unless you've come across any news. No.
I've just seen people posting pictures of Moon Knight from Marvel Rivals, so no. It's the only news I know.
No worries. Okay. Well, let's dive into our Moonshine review. as mentioned, we are doing the this thing.
Yeah, Moonlight Fist of Khonshu, issue 3.
Issue 3. Sorry, I just had to quickly. I hadn't prepared it, so I just quickly posted this one up. But again, for those that are watching, Rebecca and I will have visuals that we can refer to, and you're more than welcome to check out the video version of this episode to see what we're talking about. But yeah, Moonlight Fist of Khonshu. The cover is pretty cool. Again, from David Paratore. I can see the signature there, Rebecca. How best would you describe this bloodied cover?
It's Moon Knight holding a crescent dart to someone's neck who he's choking. Someone in a beanie and a tank top vest, as we call them.
Exactly.
Or wife beater, as they used to be called. With arms all sliced up, blood all over the hood, and a big red blob of blobbiness in the middle. But not as a blob. It looks good and artistic and bloody.
Yeah. With a couple of teeth missing, I see, and bloody. It's quite gory, like quite graphic. Paratore's covers. I tend to think that they would find a place in like the old Dark Horse comics.
Yeah, so, they're pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty cool.
I like
again, just you got me curious, Rebecca. Beanie in other countries, are they called any other thing? What do people call them in the US? I don't know. Do you know? I mean, you're
sure
experienced.
I'm sure they call them beanies. I don't know. We used to call them cats. We used to call them woolly hats before everyone started calling them beanies.
Beanies, yeah. I mean, they're just beanies to us as well.
Yeah.
A pretty cool cover, I've got to say. Yeah. And anyway, I guess this marks the start of like a new. Well, I mean, it still continues because it hasn't got in the subtitle. It's called Pathfinder. It hasn't particularly said like part 1 or part 2 or part 3, right? So it's just I think it's more just ongoing, like with
I think it's just ongoing at the moment.
Yeah. So we have writer Jed MacKay, of course, fantastic. And again, Rebecca, I saw your interaction with Jed.
Yeah.
We definitely must. He's such a legend. Jed, if you're listening, you are a legend. Definitely get him back on. Have a chat. Jed MacKay, artist, as mentioned, Domenico Carbone. The inaugural, I guess, the maiden issue from Domenico.
Yeah.
We can chat about that. Color artist Rochelle Rosenberg, letterer VC's Corey Pettit. The team still is largely unchanged with cover artists, as I said, David Paratore. We have some variant cover artists, Paolo Sequeira and Rochelle Rosenberg and Megan Hetrick. I'm unfamiliar with Megan's work, or Megan.
She's done quite a lot, but
yeah,
I mean, I won't be able to tell you off the top of my head, but I know she's done quite a lot. Yeah,
it's pretty good. And editor stalwart Devin Lewis as well. So, Rebecca, before we get into and start looking at the panels, and what we usually do, listeners, if you haven't tuned in before, we'll jump around the pages. We won't go sequentially. And what we used to do, which I think was really good, Rebecca, but we don't need to do it these days, I guess, is go panel by panel through each page. We'll just bounce around and just talk about what we like to talk about.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of highlight what we thought were the main points of the issue. But before that, of course, Rebecca, again, I don't love doing it, throwing you under the bus. In a nutshell, I guess, if you could, in few sentences, what kind of happened this issue?
We find out Mark's reaction to the Midnight Mission being attacked, and how he views the Midnight Mission. What else happens? A bit more about the police, a bit more with Mark and Tigra about Hank.
Carver,
it's like,
as well.
Yeah. Carver, that's kind of cool. Shows up or is referenced. We find that we go to his hideout. See how Mark left him, which is interesting.
The 2014.
Yeah, so I would say this is pulling the group together again. Issue where everything is kind of leading up to them having there being a sort of manhunt out for the Moon Knight gang.
Yes, I think
they've accused him of starting a cult, which is kind of funny.
Well, more than that, right? They've accused him of trafficking.
Of trafficking the glitter, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously you got to believe what the police say, and so they've pinged on.
Well, and if the mainstream media says it, I mean,
no, sorry, and the mainstream media, yeah, you got those two together, and yeah, that was a big thing, right? They pinged him, and I love it. Moon dust. They've even changed the name from glitter to dust now, and apparently Moon Knight and his congregation are the ones, I don't know, manufacturing it or distributing it, or they're doing something with it. As you mentioned, Rebecca, I think the big setup here is now we have them on the run, which I think is pretty cool, and that they've lost their home base, which is the.
I mean, it's a shame we had to take out the Midnight Mission to do that. But
I know. So
but
I mean, overall, what did you make of this issue?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Yeah, I settled into it. I'm into the new storyline now. Better than having a whole issue of angst about Hank, even though I probably would have enjoyed that as well. Personally.
I was just looking at your face framed in the tail.
Framed by a tail. I like Mark being slightly like, I like Mark's reaction to the Midnight Mission. I liked Hunter's Moon having to calm him down and saying, just chill. I like seeing Soldier get unleashed. I love that panel of Hunter's Moon saying, don't do it. And you can tell Mark's looking so sad. All right, you win.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like the vibe of it all. I like them. They all seem to have a place now. Like 8 Ball's kind of like, it's not. I've been on the run plenty of times, kind of thing.
Yeah.
He gets a nice little cocky, I'm already a criminal line. Yeah, it made me more interested in what's going on in the run than that. So
yeah, I share pretty much the same thoughts with you. I thought for a while there that as I was reading it, the main thrust of it was the Midnight Mission essentially dying, and I thought that was it. And then I thought as I was going along, like, what else is going to happen? Like, was that it? Was that the main point of it? And it wasn't until that they reached the decommed Shield base, which Jed referenced from Declan Shalvey and Warren Ellis's 2014 run, and they became fugitives on the run, that for me it kind of like, okay, great, this is awesome what Jed has done.
I think like the first 2 issues very much felt like they were setting a scene, and this felt like it's actually kicked into the story now.
So all the pieces I think are in place now. Like that, now they're on the run, they've lost their home base, and I kind of really enjoyed it. Let's go back, because we've got the panel on the screen, the first one. So one of the big things, obviously one of the big hits in this issue was the death of the Midnight Mission, which is quite significant. I was a little saddened by it because it kind of came really quickly and suddenly, and the Midnight Mission has been like a team member. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's a good instigating factor in that we don't lose a person. And I know that we love the Midnight Mission, but also, like, the cynical part of me is like, we're now returning Moon Knight more to some of his roots. Like, if you want to leave a kind of blank slate for someone else to pick up. I mean, I don't think enough. I mean, you still got a new team. You still got Moon Knight wanting to help his congregation as such. But I think maybe the Midnight Mission is also very powerful, and taking it off the table is not a terrible thing. But I'm surprised it got taken down so easily.
Yeah, with Carver. So so we don't know much. I mean, we learned a little bit about her. So she is the I guess the second in charge with Fairchild. She seems, or the main bodyguard.
Yeah, she does seem to be. That was very mysterious. I wondered if there was something I was missing there.
I don't know as well. It seems that there seems to be some sort of
there's definitely something supernatural though.
Some magical or spiritual agreement that she has with the sword, and so she says, will this be enough Gnar? I think Gnar is the the deity or something that seems to hold sway
Either
over
that
there.
or the sword. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like, is it
yeah.
like it could be like I thought it might be like one of those swords that has to suck up souls or something.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
I mean,
know.
it sucks up a huge soul in
Yeah,
in the
the
Midnight
soul.
Mission.
Or
And
magic. Maybe it sucks up
magic.
magic. I mean,
Yeah, true.
who knows? But I did
But
like the whoa.
yeah. And I've got to say, if we're going to talk about Carbone's debut here, along again with we can't ignore Rochelle Rosenberg's colors. Pretty impressive, I think, for the first splash page that Domenico has done.
Yeah.
You know, within 2 pages. Of
I
an
mean, I
issue.
actually genuinely really like the art, and I think she's coloring it really nicely, and I like that it's a difference from how she colored Capuccio.
Yeah, good point.
Like,
yeah,
there's some different colors in there, as well as just some more solid lines, kind of reflecting that he's a more solid line artist.
Yeah.
So I think also showing off Rochelle's abilities.
Look, if I'm to be a little critical, I think there is some unevenness in the art and some of the panels, and it had me thinking sometimes whether some of these panels were really kind of had to quickly get done, you know, just to make the deadline. And I know that sounds really bad, but if you look at some of the panels which are really well defined and detailed compared to some others, more so, I guess, with just Moonlight.
There's some without backgrounds and some with.
Yeah, it just unfortunately that does stick out, especially like if you're a new artist and you have all these Moonlight, all these new fans, all these fans of this character pouring over your new work, and for the large part of those that have loved the previous artist, unfortunately there is a bit more of a critical spotlight, I think, on the new artist. But having said that, Rebecca, we kind of said the same thing with Capuccio, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
So,
yeah, and also I think like where we lose the backgrounds, it's usually for high action. So I don't know if that's a style thing or a time thing. You're right. I mean, it could be a get rid of the backgrounds when we've got people moving around a lot, or it could be a time saver. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, this one here. I mean, this one looks great. I mean, Moon Knight is flying and there's an explosion, but to me, the detail is kind of been lost. And whether or not you add more detail to this, I don't know. I'm not an artist, but to me, it just seems.
I love that in the top panel there. I love how every time Moon Knight's standing somewhere, his cloak's making a crescent.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
I love Reese actually coming in as Mist. I think that was really
cool
as well.
She's great.
Because it was kind of like, hang on, isn't the Midnight
Mission?
Mission...
was her whole thing, wasn't it? Like, I'm Mist. How are they going to catch me?
Yeah. But like, as they're in the Midnight Mission, I was like, hang on, the Midnight Mission can't be doing that. It's kind of dead. It's like, oh no, it's Reese. So that was really cool. But yeah, so again, if we had to compare it, like again, in this page here with Moon Knight and Soldier and Tigra, I think it's fun. Like Moon Knight's a lot more defined here. And I find, which is really cool, and I think it's different from Capuccio. If you look at this particular panel with Moon Knight jumping up and the previous couple of panels, there's a different sort of shading. It's almost like pencil shading or something.
Yeah, it's got some of that line shading and dot shading as well.
I really like that.
Really cool. Yeah,
I think it's different. So I can't wait to really lock into his style as we get more and more issues of and you know, Domenico Carbone might be working into it, you know what I mean? He might be easing into it, the gig. So probably might take 1 or 2 issues. Not to say again that this issue was bad. It's just that I just noticed, I don't know, just me, maybe inconsistencies. But Moon Knight is looking good. Soldier's looking great. So is Tigra.
So's 8-Ball. Look at him there. He looks great there.
It's a big, round, spherical head. It's fantastic. And you're right. Look, there's a Moon Knight cape running in the tunnels. It's
everywhere. It's a crescent. It's just crazy. I love it.
So yeah, so this is another splash page, and I guess this solidifies the idea that they are all on the run. And
I love the fact that like police cars are right behind them. Like they would catch you.
They would catch him. No, this would be
they
gone.
Would certainly catch 8-Ball because he does not have any superpowers. So
the aerodynamics of their head would stop him. But this sets it up, and I guess apart from the Midnight Mission dying, Rebecca, I think the other big point here, the big takeaway, is the fact that they are fugitives. So I think it opens a lot of doors to some more different storylines in the coming issues.
Yeah.
I think we might see some like cameos as these, as a congregation probably.
Yeah, I hope so.
Goes and tries to link up with other maybe street level. I mean, that's how I'm kind of seeing it. But what was your response to the fact that this is the change now? This is the change of the theme for the coming issues.
I'm looking forward to it. Like it's been a while since we had a sort of step change like this, and I like superheroes on the run a bit. That it gives them a different motivation.
Yeah, I mean, Moon Knight hasn't had the best reputation with the police anyway, apart from Detective Flint. So this is really going to hurt him even more.
Yeah.
I wonder Soldier and all the others are largely, 8-Ball, obviously he's got a rap sheet ready. But I wonder how that would impact Tigra. And the whole thing he's just had a reconciliation with the Avengers. So this is not going to look good.
I don't know. They might. I think the Avengers would probably give him at least ask him about it rather than just assume. So.
Oh yeah. He did the whole. What was the thing that they congratulated him on? The whole Age of Khonshu stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no. Freeing.
Oh no, the blood
hunt stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I see a lot of potential with it. I love the theme as well of just.
I love 8-Ball. We're getting some more of 8-Ball's personality.
Yeah. It wasn't long ago we saw him and Moon Knight do that kick-ass duo thing with him in the snooker queue, just top upending that police car or the car. That was
funny.
cool.
Yeah, that was cool. So it'll be interesting to see how they get out of this.
Yeah.
And to have Hunter's Moon fully on board, which is nice.
Yeah. I wonder if then, is it Detective Fraser? Because they did scare her quite a bit. I wonder if she will kind of backpedal and maybe.
I don't know, because she's addicted to the drug, isn't she? So
yeah, she is. But she's had almost a crescent moon carved into her forehead. so that could be life changing. I don't know. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see because they had her dead to rights, and as you said, it was only because of Hunter's Moon that she was allowed to escape. So again, I wonder if we see her again later on.
Yeah, hopefully.
Or whether her time in the story is done. So just moving across here. So I thought this was a nice little surprise from Jed. The callback to
that was good.
The 2014. That was a really cool. That was issue 1, I think, of 2014. The Warren Ellis run, and it was very much it started off as like a detective noir thing, right? With Detective Flint and Moon Knight, Mr. Knight. Trying to solve the crimes. One of the icky things I thought was funny with Reese was that she says, "Oh, so what? You came down here and dragged him out, right?" And he's like, "Nope." And he's still there decomposing.
And that's Slasher, right?
Yeah, that weird Frankenstein kind of guy that kept on stealing body parts of people. Yeah, and again, the language of Jed, I love the idea that Moon Knight / Jed here says this is a tomb, it's not a mission. So
he had the mission because he wanted people to find him.
Yeah.
Now he needs to hide. So
and I love this is just perfect. I love the idea that straight away they've got all the the facilities and the
it's very convenient.
But it's smart though, right? It is because one of those leftover things. Yeah, one of the leftover things from the 2014 run. And for those that haven't read it, please go check it out on Marvel Unlimited if you can, or there have been complete collections, that have been released. I think they did one of Jeff Lemire, Brian Michael Bendis, and I think they did the Warren Ellis one as well. So definitely worth checking out. They're all one shots, and it was only 6 issues, wasn't it, Rebecca? I think it was the Warren Ellis. Yeah. So all 6.
Then it switched, didn't it? So.
Yeah, so all just the one and dones, and this is from issue 1. It was really good. So it was a nice little callback, and yeah, so this is just establishing them that they are fugitives. Now, one of the things that this has reminded me of, Rebecca, and you mentioned it kind of got glossed over. The whole thing, the previous issue was the lead up to Moon Knight or Mark admitting to Tigra that he withheld information. That kind of really fell by the wayside, I think.
Yeah, because I mean, we also had them attack the Midnight Mission at the end of the last series, so I know that kind of took priority.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back. Like, it's clearly going to come back in some form. Maybe it's going to come back in some form or other.
Well, yeah. I mean, continuity in Marvel these days isn't as watertight as it has been. And I wonder, as I mentioned, I've just read the first 2 issues of West Coast Avengers, and it's a heavy Ultron themed arc. It's called The Gospel of Ultron, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Meaning, I guess, Hank Pym. I wonder if that factors into this at all.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? He's back on the playing board again, so as we know. So.
Well, I mean, like, again, spoilers, no spoilers, in West Coast Avengers and Ultron, at least, has been, what would you call it, domesticated or something, turned into a hero. I mean,
well, they're trying to rehabilitate them,
but it's not the Ultron, right? Because
no,
in the comic, sorry, there's a hideout or something with, I guess, Ultron Prime doing his evil thing. So there isn't an Ultron on the West Coast Avengers team, but yeah, I guess we'll see how
we'll see where it goes. Yeah.
Hank factors into it. Nice little interaction, as you mentioned here, with 8-Ball and Soldier. Soldier does
I love
not
it.
like.
I love him like resting his elbow on Soldier. It's great.
And I like how Soldier's become really kick-ass, doesn't he? Like, he used to be very in the background. Now he's like leaping and fighting and stuff. I think it's really good. I love to see more. I mean, as he learns more, similar to Reese, I love to see how he fleshes out his vampiric abilities, and we get to see him do funky things. But yeah. For the meantime, I love how he's kind of interacting with them. And yeah, I mean, it ends with the breaking news here. So it is the manufacture and distribution. So they've been pinged for both making it and for dealing it on the streets, which is pretty heavy. Who do you think? I have a theory, Rebecca. Maybe Cloak and Dagger. They might lock horns with Cloak and Dagger. Do you think? I don't know where they are at the moment.
They could. Yeah, they don't like drugs much.
Yeah, that's what I'm heading towards. They have that kind of theme going for them. It'd be really cool to see them there.
Yeah.
I mean, but who would you like to see, if anything?
I like to see
apart from Tony Stark. Apart from Tony Stark,
I always want to see Tony Stark. Yeah, who would I like to see? Actually, I don't know, because like Jed's always going to go more obscure than I would think.
I know. Yeah.
And I believe our next issue is going to tell us that Nighthawk's off the table, because that would have been cool.
Nighthawk.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I don't know. I'm open for anyone.
Well, actually, I haven't gone past this page. I did actually go past this page. We've got a next issue 4. I love this. Again, Paratore, I'm assuming. Moon Knight jumping on the hood of...
It's also a January issue, so we have 2 in January. Okay.
Oh, yeah, the end of January. So we
I was just looking at when it's on sale. So.
So that's pretty cool. I love the donuts flying. The car, just typical police officers. Come on. But so I don't know. Well, I have a feeling that they will bump it to other people. This is the big arc, I guess, towards the end of it. However long Jed decides to do it, we'll get that showdown between Fairchild and Moon Knight. But in between then, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see. Yeah, Rebecca. I mean, we've seen 3 issues out of the Khonshu rating system. What would you give this?
I liked it. I'm going to give it 8. I thought, I mean, I know that's more than I've given some of the other ones, but I just thought it moved the story along more for me. So, and I like the art. I vibed with it. And I just really like the story. So this, yeah.
Yeah, I'd go probably a little bit less. I'd probably say a 7. Only because what I mentioned before, I thought the story was chugging along for the most part, and for me, it was kind of like, oh, what else is going to happen? Like that was it, right? The big ticket was the death of the Midnight Mission. But I really enjoyed the decom shield base and the idea that they are fugitives on the run, and then they got pinged. This is something really fun about being frustrated that your hero and team are being pinged for something that they didn't do, and the corrupt police are running with it, and they've gotten to the media. So 7. Domenico Carbone's art, I think, is full on solid. Is really good. It's really solid. I like it. It reminds me of, oh gosh, Rebecca. I am not going to remember the name. During Devil's Reign, it was the artist.
Oh,
was
I'm not going to remember the name either.
The artist,
but yeah, no, I think
the artist filled in for Cappuccio while Cappuccio was away, and he did a great job. And I think Carbone's style is similar to that than obviously Cappuccio's. I enjoyed. I'll give a few more issues before I make a final kind of verdict on it. But I think he's probably getting his what's the saying? Finding his feet.
Finding his feet.
Yeah. I was about to say feeling his feet.
Not something Rob Liefeld's ever had to do.
Probably finding his feet there. But having said that, there's nothing wrong with what he's done in these issues. They've been fantastic. Looking forward to a lot more as well.
Yeah.
So I think, Looney listeners, it's well worth a read, obviously, if you haven't read it. And as we mentioned, late January 25th is when we're going to get the next Fist of Khonshu issue. We finished. That's right, isn't it? That's right, isn't it, Rebecca? Have we finished with Phases of the Moon Knight?
I think so. We had the 4th, yeah. I think
fourth one. We did number 4, didn't we? Oh, yeah, we did. Okay. So this is the only kind of Moon Knight title out there, apart from the cameos, which Rebecca and I will cover. We mentioned in our previous episode, the What If issue, which will come out whenever it comes out. But next episode, let's just call them issues, Rebecca. We're in a comic book. We're in a comic book podcast.
Yeah.
Next issue, Rebecca and I we'll be taking a little bit of a backtrack. It was last year's Moon Knight annual 2024. So
I want to make sure that's the right one I've got.
the Infinity Watch. Definitely.
Yeah. It's because I just referenced Night Watch. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And
so you're saying last year threw me. I forgot we're in like January.
I know.
I'm sure it was a recent issue.
Fresh new year. Actually, I've got to get the physical, I think, copy. Did you end up getting it, or?
No, I bought it digitally. Okay. I'm either going to get these as a trade, or I'm not going to get them. Because I either want the full story or I don't, kind of thing. So
I am biting my lip. I want to chat to you about that, which we will get to in the next episode. But that's what we'll have next episode. And we'll just be updating the podcast with new releases, of course, and interspersed with that, Rebecca and I will look at older issues, which we used to do back with the Lunar Picks, the modern run issues and the classic runs. And also the Moon Walks, which were not where Moon Knight, it's not Moon Knight's run, but he was featured in other comics. So Rebecca and I will be diving into that as well. So a lot of cool stuff coming up over the next few weeks. Can't wait for it. Rebecca, is there anything on your end that you'd want to give a shout out to for a spectacle?
No, I'm not been doing anything. I've been chilling, playing computer games, hiding from the world a bit. Finally, better, as you will be able to tell by the fact I'm not coughing anymore. So that has only been in the last few days. So I'm kind of just at the moment just enjoying feeling better.
Nice. No, very good, very good. And is Ruby still there? I can't
She
see.
is. Sorry, I turned the lights off. So.
Yep. I know.
No,
Ruby is the other. The additional high priest of Khonshu. We've got a couple.
Yeah, we've
Mason
got
Flip over here.
got
And
some new
Aussie.
ones.
Yeah.
So, like, if anybody is looking, there she is.
Looking content.
Sleeping with bearded Captain America.
She's looking very content for being on the run.
Yeah. Oh! Look, she's doing a little cuddle feet. Yeah.
There's a little bit of a shift there.
She's with the Iron Man and Captain America bears, teddy bears. She has adopted this bedside table on her own. Oh, look! We talked about Ruby.
Oh, of course. And out comes the cat's bum. The cat's bum. Nothing better.
She's still not liking Aussie, so he's feeling a bit sad.
And may I ask the computer games you're playing, Rebecca?
Hades 2, Diablo 4, and I just finished Veilguard. So
I saw a board game as well that you had posted up on Facebook.
Yes, what was that? Dragonflight? Is it Dragonflight? I think so.
Okay.
Dragon
Is that
Flame something. Yeah, it was really good. We played it over Christmas, and we had Aussie lying across the board.
Yes,
the
of course.
Joy of Aussie. Because it's got a neoprene gaming board, which was really nice.
Oh, lovely
Yeah.
feel.
No, it was a really good game. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was about dragons and they own shops, and it was cool.
Nice. Well, as long as Aussie doesn't like claw at the neoprene, then
it's more him knocking counters so we can't find them, because it was the first time we'd played it. But
nice.
He eventually went and sat in the box. So as all good cats should.
Yeah, any box, they love it.
Any box, yeah.
Yeah, we bought a few things, furniture-wise, boxes in the backyard. Of course, Mason Flip. They gravitate towards it. Yeah.
I forgot I forgot you don't have snow in the backyard, so you can put boxes out there.
Yeah.
Boxes in the backyard, that'd be a bit soggy. Not in Australia. Yeah.
No, and as always, Rebecca, in sharp contrast, it's been quite warm this summer, which has been good. Talking like mid to high 30s. So
no.
Maybe not. But it's good if you have air conditioning. You come back in. Like,
we don't have air conditioning. So.
Well, the fan does well as well.
We do have the fan, and we've got we have a small air conditioning unit for this room. So
excellent. Yeah. Okay. Well, nothing then on your part.
No. Anything on yours? You doing anything? Any podcasts?
I will be. Yeah. Hopefully, I've still got one more week at the time of this recording. One more week of holidays. So I'm hoping to fit in a Predator and Prey, a Ucha podcast.
Yeah. Nice.
We're doing a Dark Horse classic, like old story. I think it's called Blood Feud, with a Japanese samurai fighting the Yaucha.
Everyone's talking about Japan today.
So I'll be joined by Justin and Sparky for that one. That should be fun. As always, I'll be on Capes and Lunatics, the network, at the end of last Tuesday of every month. Just going through some Peter David Scarlet Spider. That'd be fun.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, love it. You remember we did Damnation, Rebecca, all those years ago?
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Can you believe it's our 8th year?
No.
With the IT Gay, the 8th year.
That's crazy. It's older than Aussie. Because we got him as a kitten, remember? So
yeah, I mean, we're a couple of years shy of a decade, so that's awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, and I've got a couple of games.
You all missed us doing the Lemire issues month by month. Wow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We had, we chatted with the likes of Max Bemis as well.
Oh, that was a good interview.
That was really cool. So plenty of stuff. Hopefully we can pick up a lot of the stuff again. I mean, it does take time. Like I was in a, fever pitch doing Isla Raz and the audio dramas, which much fun to do. It's so fun. But it is finding time to do the post-production stuff and to write it, of course. Thanks. Bear with us, loonies. For those that have been here for a while, thank you so much for sticking with us. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we go. The Patreon is still kind of offline. I've just taken that off because until again, Rebecca
until
and I.
Regular.
Yes, until we are like Liefeld and find our feet. You're just not comfortable. I mean, taking everyone's hard-earned cash until we can actually provide something back in return and then some. So thank you so much for all your support.
All anyway.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, it is genuinely, sincerely from the bottom of both Rebecca and I, my heart. It's so great. We're gracious to get all your support. But yeah, that's offline for the time being. When it kicks in again, I'll probably update the the tiers as well, Rebecca. We'll have a chat and see what we can do. But yeah, I think that's about it, Rebecca. So we'll catch you next week for a chat about Moon Knight, the annual from 2024, Infinity Watch. Listeners, thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Ozzy. Thank you, Ruby.
Yes. We're
And
fully twisted up in this house.
And as always, may Khonshu watch over the denizens of the night. Catch you later.
Bye.